Hey guys, today I'll show you my list for the top 10 moments from The Flash. Let's get into it. Number 10. Traveling to Earth 39 and meeting Supergirl. Season 2. Now technically this episode takes place in Supergirl, but the event is shown in Season 2 of The Flash. But when Barry is testing out a tachyon enhancement device to try and help him get faster to stop Zoom, it sends him through a breach into another world, which is where he meets Supergirl, and the two of them become friends, and he helps her to defeat Silver Banshee and Livewire. Number 9. Unraveling a tornado. Season 1. The first trick that Barry learned was how to unravel a tornado, by running around in the opposite direction the tornado is spinning. He's used this more than once, in fact, in the fight against the rival in Season 3, Episode 1, Flashpoint. When the rival created two of them, he unraveled it one by one. Number 8. Helping Caitlin with her powers. Season 3. In this episode, Caitlin is struggling to control her powers and the evil side of her, Killer Frost. But Barry is not yet ready to give up on her, so he tries something. He says that she's free to go if she kills him. He keeps on motivating her, but in the end, she can't because Caitlin is still in there somewhere. And in the end, Caitlin manages to come out and manages to fight back against Killer Frost. Number 7. Kid Flash and Barry versus the Rival. Season 3, Episode 1. In the first episode of Season 3, we see two new speedsters. We see the Rival and we see Kid Flash. Although, since Wally West's first main appearance of Season 2, we could have guessed that we were going to see Kid Flash at some point. But in Barry's world that he created, Barry is no longer the Flash and Wally is, with a new enemy, the Rival. When Barry shows that he's a speedster, the two of them work together and decide to defeat the Rival together. Number 6. Escaping from the Speed Force. Season 2. Barry's escaped from the Speed Force more than once, but I'm focusing primarily on Season 2, when he was trying to get his speed back, in order to defeat Zoom, but it ended up sending him into the Speed Force while everyone else thought that he had died. But as Barry described it, it was like being in space, and everything around him was actually a memory. Like being in the house that his mother was killed in, being at his mother's grave. And the Speed Force manipulated itself so that it looked like someone that Barry knew. So Joe, Iris, Henry, his dad, or his mother. Number 5. Teaming up with the Arrow multiple times, all the seasons. When Barry teams up with Oliver Queen from Arrow, aka the Green Arrow, you're bound to be in for an awesome episode. Each time that these two team up, it's going to be a really cool episode. And since they're kind of like opposites, but again, they're kind of like best friends, in a sense. Like Barry and Kara, they're like best friends as well. But it's always the 8th episode of a season that we see a crossover. It's not primarily just the Flash and the Arrow crossing over with each other, but recently we got an entire DC crossover with all the shows. Like the Crisis on Earth X one that was on last week. Number 4. Learning to Vibrate. Season 1. This is actually in an episode where Barry finally does discover that Harrison Wells is the Reverse Flash. And it's this bit, and it's when he's trying to teach Barry how to vibrate, that we actually see there is evidence of how he is the Reverse Flash. So, like, when he's saying how to vibrate through the Trickster's bomb, it's like he's talking from experience. At that point, Barry realized that Harrison Wells really is the Reverse Flash. Number 3. Defeating Zoom, Season 2. In this one, Barry's father, at the beginning of the episode, has been killed by Zoom vibrating his hand through him. And Barry is, well, as you would be as well, he's pissed royally. And he nearly decides to kill him, but a Zoom time remnant decides to kill him himself. But when Zoom wants to find out who's fastest by having a race with him, he wants him to run around a machine that actually would destroy the multiverse. But Barry makes a time remnant and stops Zoom's plan in its tracks. And actually, Zoom becomes the Black Flash. Number 2. Barry asks Reverse Flash to kill his mother. Season 3. In the first episode of Season 3, Reverse Flash is being held captive by Barry in a cage that is dampening his powers. And not only that, but eventually Thawne manages to get Barry to his side and convinces him to let him kill his mother again. Since the world that Barry is living in is starting to fall apart, like he's losing his memory because of all the times he's using his speed whilst he's in that world, he decides to let Thawne out and let him kill his mother again and try to put everything back the way that it used to be. Unfortunately, everything doesn't go as he had hoped. Like, the past is how he remembers it, but is how it was, but the present, everything is much different. Number 1. Barry changes his mind, Season 1. This scene is one of the most upsetting and heartbreaking scenes in a CW DC show. When Barry is given the choice to run back in time and save his mother, he does, but when he sees his future self fighting with the Reverse Flash, his future self stops him from doing anything about it. And he watches from his bedroom as the Reverse Flash stabs his mother through the heart with a knife. When Reverse Flash is left, Barry comes out and provides some closure for himself and also some comfort, as he shows himself to his mother by taking off his mask. But seriously, I have cried every time I've watched that episode. But he then goes back to the present and he realizes he already has everything he wanted. Alright guys, that's it, and I'll be back next week to give you another list, but be sure to like and subscribe and comment what you think on it. And I'll be back next week, so stay cool guys. See you later.